Hello, this is Nick Jordan with Concept Sharpening. Just going to show you a video on zero gapping and why to do it and why not to do it. Let's go. First off, you can zero gap any blade, but that doesn't make it sharper or anything. So don't adjust your blades just because you think it will start working again. It's not going to. Once it's dull, it's dull. So why I don't recommend zero gap is because in between these little teeth, your skin can get. So the closer this cutter blade is to the comb, then it has a chance of, it doesn't really cut your skin, but your skin gets in between it and it irritates it. And then if you have a true zero gap, then it does cut your skin because you have this razor blade, basically, this moving knife at the end. The comb is to protect your skin. So if you set this cutter over the comb, well, you're not protecting your skin no more. So I set it really close, but I leave it back just a little bit. Now, if you need it to go bald, once again, this is not a straight razor. This is a moving knife that's cutting hair really fast. So it's going to irritate your skin. So you're going to have to, you can make the lines with this, even if it's set back a little bit. Take a Wahl shaver, Andis shaver, and shave it down because that lifting cuts the hair and doesn't irritate it. So basically you just loosen these little screws. This is to a Wahl detailer. And you loosen these screws and you just slide this cutter blade up. This one's zero gapped. I don't recommend it because you get those little red lines or bumps on the back of your neck. That's because the blade is actually cutting your skin and you don't really feel it until, you know, it's cut. And it's not good for either of us. We both look bad. Like if you're leaving lines or I call them blood lines, or razor burn or irritation, your customer's not gonna like it, and you're gonna blame me probably, and I wouldn't blame you. So that's why I don't do it. But I'll sharpen them all day, set them as close as you want, and then you can zero gap them if you want. Alright, so you can basically zero gap any blade. And I'll show you how to adjust the blades in this video, and let's get to work. This is an Andis T outliner. Pretty good trimming clipper. I like it the most. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. See how there's a little bit of light right there? You want it set back because your skin doesn't want to be in these teeth. And you know, if you use the blade like this, straight on, and you're zero gapped, you for sure will cut them. Now you use it like this and zero gap, it might be okay because it's still running through the comb. But once you go like that, then now the moving knife is closer to the skin. So to zero gap this, you loosen these two screws just a little bit. So now you can move this. See, I moved it. It's way back now. Okay, so now you want to bring it all the way back, because there's a little play in this. So if you don't bring it all the way back, then you can't adjust it to the end, because watch, if you just put it to the end and then try to move it back a little bit, now it has play in it. Look at that. And it's gonna, this little arm has to be set right, this little tension arm. That's why when I sharpen these, I service these too, because you adjust the power and the tension. It helps with heat, everything. And you want this with the right pressure and pushing on the right part of this blade. So if it's pushing down like this, well, look at the blade is going to go down and then it's going to wobble like that. So now if you bring it up, bring it all the way back, So now the guide is rested at the bottom of the cutter. And then you bring the cutter up until you see the light right there. So that's like perfect. That's what you want. You want a little bit of metal to show, just because that you don't want the skin getting in between there and irritating it. Even with a sharp blade or anything, it's gonna hurt and it will leave marks. So then I got this set. So what I mean, see, now I can wobble it, but when I push it up to the end, it doesn't wobble. And that's how this arm is supposed to sit. It's supposed to push this cutter to the end and in the middle to hold it down. So you want this guide down here to be at the bottom of the cutter. So now you just tighten up these two screws. And you can look down it and it's perfect. Doesn't go over, but it's as close as it can get. So when people say zero gap, I think that's the wrong word for it. It should be set close gap. Okay, so that's that. That's an Andis T outliner. So now you got a 40 blade or a 5/0 blade, depending on if you're a barber or a dog groomer. So you turn this on. See how close it is? It's not zero gapped, because zero gap is bad, I promise. Try your blades set back a little bit and I bet you like them. And if you don't, then sorry. So you loosen these two screws. And then you can adjust this. So now it's set way back. So now I'm going to slide it up to the top and to the end. See the little bit of silver right at the end? That means there's a little bit of space so it doesn't cut that skin. And I tighten these screws and it's perfect. And it goes for other clippers too. Your goal is to get this as close as you can, but there has to be a gap on all blades. 5/0 blades, trimming blades, there's got to be a little gap, because this comb is not doing anything if there's a zero gap. It's basically, you might as well just have two cutters. It would probably work better, but I mean, you're gonna have blood everywhere. So I don't recommend it, and please don't do that. So here we go. Thanks for this wonderful adventure. I had so much fun, and I will make more videos when I can. Thank you.